today is a special day for all of our American friends and colleagues, but today is also a special day for our Chief Executive, Joanne Richardson, who steps down from her position next week after 12 hugely successful years at the helm. And I can't think of a better day, Thanksgiving, for me, on behalf of the members and the board, to say thank you, Joanne. Over the last 12 years, under her leadership, this chamber has become one of the most dynamic, influential, and I think it would be fair to say one of the most respected professional business organisations in the country, who tirelessly represents and acts in the best interests of its members. Indeed, when you look around the room today, you're left in no doubt as to the quality of the membership and the reputation of the organisation. Joanne, I think we can safely say the chamber will never be quite the same without you. Having said that, you could not possibly be leaving with a more positive legacy or stronger organisation than you leave the chamber in a very strong position to continue its growth and development. The chamber is very fortunate to have a very solid and dedicated board of directors, very engaged members from all around the country, actively participating in our CEO forums and working groups. The chamber has an ongoing positive working relationship with the government to ensure that the voice of our members is clearly communicated, and we have very strong ties with our sister chambers throughout Europe and the US Chamber in Washington. As president, I'm also delighted to say that we have an excellent executive team, and I've no doubt the chamber will continue to go from strength to strength. But Joanne, on a personal level, it's always been a pleasure to deal with you as a member, as a board member, and for me this year as president. I would like to sincerely thank you for your support throughout my tenure as president. The interest and enthusiasm you take in each and every American company in Ireland is a great testament to you and your professionalism in fulfilling the role over the last 12 years. I know I speak for all of the members present and around the country when I wish you, Michael, and your family every happiness and best wishes for your future, and extend to you a very special Thanksgiving thank you. And now, before Joanne says a few words, let's have a brief look back at some of the highlights of Joanne's successful tenure.
The successes of our member companies in winning jobs and winning investment needs to be recognised. And we only have to look around this room. Many of those companies and the individuals are sitting here today.
There are three people who really had a major influence on the chamber in its 50 years. Clearly the first one was Ken Victor. He set the framework for the basis for the Americans to come here. The second was clearly Bob Chalker. The third person is Joanne, and she made it more of an entity.
I personally think the American Chamber of Commerce, led by Joanne Richardson, has done an absolutely fantastic job as the representatives of American industry in Ireland.
In celebrating our 50th anniversary, we celebrate the success of every one of our member companies around the country.
For those of us who run companies in Ireland, FDI companies, it's easy to deal with somebody like Joanne, who thinks the way we do, speaks our language, understands our issues, and is very focused in driving those issues.
I've known American Chamber and Joanne for some time, a very sort of strong group of partners and a very strong network of people that will help us get done what we need to get done here.
The latest figures confirms that US investment in Ireland exceeds 188 billion. That's 5 times greater than it was only 10 years ago, and the American Chamber has gone from strength to strength. I would like to thank each and every one of you and all of our members all over the country for everything you contribute to the American Chamber. Thank you, Peter, for those lovely words, and thank you all for a very warm response. And I suppose I just want to say just a few short words in response. I'm very honoured to have served as Chief Executive of the American Chamber for the last 12 years. And it's been an amazing professional experience, and I'm very proud of the Chamber. I'm very proud of what's been achieved over the last 12 years. And I suppose so many people have contributed to that success. And first of all, I'd like to mention my board of directors. Many of them are here today, both past and present board members. And they have put an enormous amount of commitment and dedication into the Chamber and have worked hand in hand with me in bringing it to where it is today. I'd also like to thank my presidents, 12 men in 12 years. I have a lady coming in next year. But from Bernard Collins, who you saw in the clip, who ran Boston Scientific at the time, Bernard employed me, to Peter Standen, and beside me here on the stage with me today. It's been a fabulous professional experience for me to have had the opportunity to work so closely with such talented people. And for them, in addition to running their own global organisations, gave so generously of their time and their expertise to me personally. And that has just been a wonderful, wonderful experience. Peter mentioned my team. You know, behind every successful CEO, there is a great team. And I'm very fortunate to have an amazingly dedicated team of professionals in the Chamber who've also worked hand in hand with me throughout the years. And I know, and I've no doubt, they will continue to do a fabulous job for our members. I would like to mention the US Embassy and to thank the US Embassy. And you've seen some of the ambassadors, particularly Ambassador Egan, Kenny, Foley and Rooney, all of the deputy chiefs, all of my colleagues in the US Embassy for being such allies to the American Chamber, and successive governments, it has to be said, in particular this government and on Taoiseach, who through very, very challenging times have continued to prioritise foreign direct investment. And of course the IDA, and I know there's a number of people from the IDA in the room today, for the job that they continue to do in bringing in investment. I have to mention my most wonderful husband, Michael Berg, for all his love and support and encouragement throughout the years. But most of all, I want to acknowledge our members here today and all around the country. You are the American Chamber of Commerce. And it is because of your enormous contribution that the American Chamber is so successful and so effective. 12 years ago, US investment in Ireland was 52 billion. Today, it's 204. And global foreign direct investment will grow by 25% in the next 2 years. The American Chamber of Commerce is now a very critical piece of that infrastructure in retaining and growing investment. And US companies have become a permanent part of all our lives and a permanent part of Ireland's future. So I congratulate you and all of your people for everything you do every day in winning jobs and winning investment for Ireland. I passionately wish the American Chamber of Commerce every single success for the future. And I personally thank you all for working with me in building an American Chamber that I know we are all very, very proud of. Thank you so much. Okay, super. Thank you all.